their game positions. Here we go. All right. Clem in the bottom right of Site Delta. In the top left, we have Dark. Should be a good Terran versus Zerg. You know, I'm kind of sitting here waiting, wondering what we're going to see out of these guys. You know, obviously, we've gotten that big new patch. Or are we going to just see the same old out of these guys? Are they going to have some fresh ideas for us here? Definitely Future was showing us at least one kind of fresh idea, which was cool. And yeah, he's going to put a racks down. So if you're putting one racks down, you're probably putting two racks down. So it's probably a 3 Reaper into Command Center build from Clem. I don't want to jump too far ahead of myself here, but that's probably what we'll end up seeing. It's a very good build. You know, special, kind of iterated, the newer version of this. A lot of people have been using it lately. We've seen a lot of it from Byun in these cups, although I feel like we haven't... Byun kind of went out early last couple weeks, so haven't actually gone to cast his games for like 3 weeks, I think, since we casted some Byun games, if I'm remembering correctly. Anyways, it does look to be that 2-Rax Reaper. And this build works very well with 3 Reapers specifically into that command center and then going up whichever tech route that you decide. So there's that first Reaper. And, you know, back at home, Dark is just playing a very normal game. There's not a lot of back and forth with... Not a lot of adjustments at this stage of Zerg, right? It kind of plays itself a little bit. And, you know, another big reason that is the larva. Especially, you know, early on, you're gated a lot by those larvae as well. So 2 Reapers coming out. There's one. He should start the third. There it is. And probably going to go into Command Center. You can see his minerals building up right now towards 400. And there's the Command Center as expected. So the question is the follow-up. All right? There are a lot of follow-ups. There's one... You can add barracks and do like a marine pressure. You know, you can just tech up immediately. I've seen 3rd Command Center before, although I'm not sure about that one. I don't like that one as much. I feel like you open with a pressure build like this where you've slowed your economy slightly. It doesn't make sense to try to... It's not even a slingshot. I would call it slingshot yourself into a stronger economy, but it's not quite that. So I'm not a big fan of a quick 3rd CC here. And instead, yeah, he does go into the factory, which in my opinion, this is the best play. I'm a fan of the 3 Reaper into factory. Gives you a lot of options where you can go. And there's the 3rd Command Center after the factory. So very solid, I think. This is probably one of the like this feels like a very modern version of things that Innovation used to do a lot, right? If you recall correctly, Reactor Hellion into 3rd Command Center was Innovation's go-to. He did that like 80% of the time or something because it just kind of lives through everything and gives you a very good economy. So this is kind of like a more modern version of that where you have 3 Reapers out on the map instead of 1. Double Cyclone. Oh, now that's interesting. Okay. Okay. I'm digging it. What are we going to do with the double Cyclone? Are we just going to walk across the map and try to snipe a queen or something? I'm honestly unsure. Really good mine right there. Second mine not as good. Oh, loses one of these Reapers. Yeah, well, it's so funny because Clem has amazing micro, right? Oh, God. He has amazing micro, but when you compare like his Reapers to Byun's, it's literally not even close. Beyond is so much better than everyone with that unit. Okay, so Dark not only kills 3 Reapers with this small group of Lings, he goes in and kills 2 Cyclones and a Marine. And now SCVs. Holy crap. The best Zerglings in the history of the world. That was stupid. Dude, Beyond, look at that. Like, are you kidding me? That was like the reverse of Beyond. Those were like Beyond Zerglings or something, where it's like, wait, you're not supposed to kill that much. Actually, that's reminding me. Actually, I think we did watch Beyond last week, one match where he went against Solar, and right? Didn't he go against Solar and like destroyed all the Lings with his, like, there was like 50 Lings trying to surround him. I'm getting weeks mixed up, I think. But anyways. That was ridiculous how well Dark did with those Lings. Now, doesn't mean it's the end of the game, but Clem has no pressure on the map, and that's where Clem doesn't play as well. Like, I think Clem, when he's ahead, might be the best player in the world. Like, if he has an advantage and he's active on the map, that's like when his superpowers are unleashed, right? So basically, if you take any damage to Clem early on and he retains some units and he can continue to poke and prod you, it's like that's it's unreal. It's like maybe better than what Maru can do. And I won't say that definitively, but like, yeah, that's kind of my feel for it when I watch that happen. Now, that being said, like, he was not active on the map for quite some time. He comes out with this group of Marines. You know, maybe he can make something happen. But it's not like he's ahead in some way, right? Dark is feeling completely fine with his position. He's got a decent drone count. He's got a decent army supply. He's getting some decent upgrades. And we'll just see what Clem can make happen. But he doesn't have that kind of tempo advantage that really rewards his type of play. A lot of roaches being made here from Dark. Gonna unload. He's gonna lose a medevac. Oh! Oh, he almost did it. I was like, what? Good try on the transfuse, but actually Clem is just targeting everything perfectly here. He is gonna have to go out, though, as these roaches come up. But you know what? Picking off 3 queens here, losing a medevac and some, you know, half of his Marines to kill 3 queens and you know, a morphing Ravager and a few roaches, like that was really legitimate, I think. Now 1-1 is going to be finished up for both sides. Second factory, very quick here from Clem, which is exactly what you want to see against this as well. And yeah, from here we're going to see Dark probably get very close to max and go attack. This is a very old strategy where you try to force a liftoff on the third. If you can force the command center to lift off, that's like the area where you've done a lot of damage. So Dark coming in with a lot of supply here. Biles down one of those siege tanks. Clem did make this bunker. It is going to get Bile down pretty quickly as well. And fighting with his SCVs. So it seems like Clem is going to have just enough here. Runs through that Bile. Just enough that he's not going to take severe damage here. Loses 18 SCVs, which certainly is significant. But don't forget that this is a roach-based army. It doesn't scale as well. It scales better for Dark than it does for anyone else, but it still doesn't scale as well as what Clem is doing. Clem gets to retain all of his flying units, all of his medevacs, right? None of that type of stuff goes down. And so, like, you know, he's going to have some counterplay here with those medevacs since he's playing against a Roach Ravager-based army. He did lose some workers, but he's got the mules. So, you know, I think that was a completely decent hold from Clem. And don't forget, because Dark was doing that, during that attack, he was on 65 drones. Here, he's up to 73. You know, he's you know, pushing them in whenever he can. But that, you know, 65 drones at that point is that's not a huge economy. He's not super far ahead or anything like that. You know, Dark's sitting here on 4 bases. He's got very good creep spread. We do have to mention that. But I think that Clem has done fine here. And now that he's got 2 factory siege tank going, plus 1 you know, vehicle weapons, 2-2 coming up, not too far behind Dark's 2-2. Dark's is a little bit quicker. But as Clem hits 2-2, he's going to have a very healthy amount of plus 1 siege tanks. And we don't have a Hive on the way. So, like, you're not going to have the Vipers very easily to clean that out. You're not going to have the Ultras yet. A lot of times a build like this from Dark will go into Ultras from here. I'm actually surprised he hasn't made an Infestation Pit, by the way. Definitely needs to put that down. It's very surprising he needs it. But yeah, I think that Clem has ample opportunities in this game. This is actually a fun position to look at because Dark is very good with this unit set in these. He can play these types of spots very well. And he looks much bigger than Clem right now, but honestly, I think that Clem has played this well enough. Like see, here's this counterplay I was talking about, getting this drop off. There's no real anti-air here for Dark. And, you know, as soon as they bring up enough, you lift up, you get out. It's not like when you're playing against Mutiling Bane, right? Mutas are following that, it all dies. Here, Clem, he can just, like, unload it elsewhere. Now, here comes another attack from Dark, but we have a pretty deep siege tank line. Some Biles go down, but he doesn't actually kill that much. And you can see the value that Clem is getting during these engagements is immense. Trying to hit another location. Plenty of leftover units there, but he'll boost in the main. Yeah, this looks really cool for Clem right now. Ooh, good Biles. Medevacs just kind of float into them there. All right, so Clem is setting up a fourth base. The Hive is on the way, but it is a little bit late. You can see that melee upgrade coming. You can see the Baneling Nest coming. I think he'll be going for a few Vipers immediately, as well as an Ultralisk Cavern as that finishes up. But look at this army. Like I was saying, maxed out 2-2 with +1 siege tanks, lots of tanks in there, and no Hive ready for Dark. So Clem has played the scaling game here. You know, Dark, he wanted to try to get that early damage with the Roach Ravager. Got some. He got 18 SCVs. Did it matter, though? Well, not against a player of the caliber here of Clem. They're pushing forward. Some good Biles, though, I got to tell you. He really is the best Ravager user. Gets a few tanks here and there. Gets a few medevacs here and there. That stuff adds up for sure. Hive is just now going to finish. Definitely needs to get those Vipers on the way. +3 carapace as well. Hydralisk Den. Okay, so I guess he wants to go into Lurker here eventually. Clem really kind of dominating this area. Would love to see one scan just to remove these creep tumors. Kind of hurt the planning here of Dark a bit. There is that scan. Clem's push just so difficult to deal with. You see Dark here, like every time he gets into the siege tank range, you're just seeing his army get destroyed. He can kind of turn and fight against the Marine Marauder a little bit, but the siege tanks continue to leapfrog through all this action. Dark in some serious trouble now. His supply really plummeting. And when you're on roaches, that's not going to work out for you. I think we actually might see a GG coming up. There it is. That's how you do it. That's how you fucking do it right there by Clem. Legit. Yeah, Dark's a roach guy. But, like, the speed of the second factory was superb. It was superb. His micro was good. You saw him pull his SCVs against that bust on the third. You really need to make that shit lift up. Like, you need to push Terran all the way back to their natural, basically, is what I'm trying to say here. But Clem sacked, like, almost 20 SCVs. And was, like, at that point, you can look at that and try to argue one player is ahead or the other player is ahead, but with the skill sets that they both possess, like I felt like it was good for Clem, and I think he really showed why. What a great game. What a great game out of Clem. We're going to go into game number 2. Saying somebody is a roach guy is only a StarCraft 2 thing. It's bad in any other aspect of life. It's bad in StarCraft 2 as well. All right. So here we go. Top left, we have Dark. Bottom right, we have Clem. Someone asks, how do you know they aren't stream sniping? Everything's on a 2-minute delay. Not me. That's why Mapu is here for us. Mapu sends out a 2-minute delayed video to me that I cast on. So I'm in the present with you guys. This stuff all happened 2 minutes ago, what you're looking at. And that's how they prevent any sort of stream sniping from going on in these matches. And I want to give a big reminder, guys. There's a lot of you here right now. Use the command in the chat, StarCraft 2. We have a new YouTube channel. Mapu's running it, uploading all these StarCraft 2 casts each week. So definitely do check that out. Give it a little follow on YouTube if you're into StarCraft 2. And we appreciate it. Thank you. All right. Once again, the 2 Barracks Reaper play looks like it's going to be the choice here from Clem. And, you know, we just chill for a little bit because, like, on Dark side, there's not a lot to look at. I guess we can kind of pay attention to the timing of the third base, maybe, or, you know, it should be speed first, most likely. The stream is live. I am here with you guys right at this moment. There's probably 1 second. I do the lowest latency possible streaming, so there's like approximately 1 second in between when I say something when you guys hear it. So. Should be 3 Reaper into Command Center again. We'll see if it goes Factory Command or he wants to play something else. Again, there are some other builds. You can do things like 4X, Heavy Marine. After a 3 Reaper opener, I'm a little bit more of a fan of the 4X Marine in that point. I think that there's some cool builds with that. But it might go better, honestly, with the 3 Racks Reaper openers, where you go heavier Reaper. I like it there most, I think. So anyways, he is making more than 3 Reapers, which is not as common with this. Oh, he cancels the 4th. Okay. Well, that's exactly what it is then. Factory on the way. And it does look like he's saved up for a 3rd command center. And there it is. So exactly the same build here from Clem. Zorgany Speed is coming around. I'm reading that comment right now, my man. I hate you guys. Yes, it's live. My God. Okay, so it will be cool to see if this is once again Reactor Cyclones. Because remember, in the previous game, Clem ended up losing his 3 Reapers and the 2 Cyclones. So I was not, that was obviously a very rough opener. So now I want to see what his original plan was, because I can't imagine that a group of Speedlings is going to come in and do what it did in the previous game. So we don't see Stim yet. Double eBay very, very quickly. That's kind of cool. I want to see what these 2 Cyclones do. I'm really excited about it. I'm very interested. All right, they're going to go across the map. So he saved 2 of his Reapers and 2 Cyclones. A little bit of pressure on the Queens? Is that it? I mean, as soon as you poke, they got to make more Zerglings, and you got to be careful because Speedlings can still surround and kill all this. And now 2 Hellions. That's kind of cute. That's kind of cute because you know he's going to counter this by making extra speedlings. So you have the 2 Hellions to try to punish that, perhaps. A little surround goes up.
The Truth donated $3. This is good.
I will play that afterwards. But yeah, it's... This isn't doing that much, but the Hellions added in are really interesting. Doesn't quite get the Overlord. No, not even going to poke there again. It's a funny roaming force. Right? Normally this would just be Hellions and Reapers, but like the... You know, I guess you can threaten Overlords, you can threaten Queens with this. Because the Cyclones have a bit more potential with those things. So Clem right now still just roaming about. You know, his 1-1 is a lot quicker than Dark's this game. A lot of barracks being added as his third base is already mining. Clem really going to start hitting his macro here. But he's playing against Ling Bane this time instead of the Roach Ravager. Now, yeah, one single Zergling getting in. Dark actually has a good amount of speedlings right now. Just kind of sitting back on his own creep. Baneling speed just finished. Kind of an interestingly quick infestation pit. Not something I really expected to see. I do wonder if this is going to be for... If he's going to pop any infestors, or is this just straight hive? We're going to see in just a moment here. I would love to see him just pop out like 3 infestors. I think that would be really interesting to see. You know, infestors did get changed a little bit, but no, it is going to be lame old hive. Going to go directly into that hive there. Burrow is on the way as well. We've seen some great burrow usage already here today. All right, 1-1 finishing up. 2-2 gets started just immediately. Lots of Lings being produced here from Dark. He is sitting on 4 base. Oh, cute little move from Dark, having them hidden down there, but gets sniffed out somehow by Clem. I wasn't paying super close attention to the movements on the minimap. Maybe you saw Lings run by to there or something, but good find. And, you know, Dark's doing a good job of keeping his creep out, basically. He's, like, patrolling the edges where Clem is trying, you know, to kill off some of this creep, to start pushing it back a little bit for his upcoming pushes. Lots of Lings on the way. Adrenal has been started. Actually, I don't think he has any real hive units right now, right? Like, I don't think he actually got any Vipers. Maybe I missed it, but I don't think so. Yeah, you definitely want some blinding clouds on any siege tanks to come up, but it looks like it's only 1. A little group of counterattacking Lings and Banes pushed back. A lot of Hellbats actually mixed in there. No plus vehicle attacks or anything on them. No blue flame, I believe, either. I think it's just the leftover from earlier. Yeah, no blue flame. All right, here comes the Ling Bane. He's going to go ahead, sacrifice a bunch of this at the front. He still is standing on a lot of creep, so still a lot of potential for a big engage. You know, right now, Adrenal and 2-2 are almost done, but not quite. So this is really a great moment for Clem to try to take a good engage right before these upgrades are finished, because he's up 2 upgrades at this exact second. Now, here comes Dark. That is a huge amount of Banes that go forward, but Clem continues to push back, The counterattack back at home got 17 SCVs. Dark's going to bring the remaining units up for a bit of a flank, and it looks like that will help out. And in fact, Clem's push will be slaughtered off here. Dark maintains his entire economy, but he is just on 4 bases. And don't forget, his army has to be completely reproduced every time. Basically, all of his army dies every time he has a battle because he's on Ling Bane. So has to remake a lot of that. His supply a little bit low in comparison because of that. He's up 30 workers, yet, you know, even in supply just about. 3-3 here is already on the way, about a little over halfway done for Clem. Dark, we haven't seen start that as of yet. Couple Vipers being made, though. I think we're going to need to see more tech from Dark. I don't think he can hold on much longer with pure Ling Bane. I'm getting a little bit nervous for him right now. Leaving Marauders at the front there, making it so hard for those Banelings to get by. Going to have to lift, though. Huge swarm coming in from Dark. Yeah, not a lot of Banelings up at the front, so those Hellbats actually doing a reasonable job of putting some damage down here, but it's just so many Lings. We'll force him back for now. Solid Widowmine placement there. Clem eking out every bit of damage that he can. 3-3 is almost done. When you're up 2 upgrades, it makes a gigantic difference. Some Liberators being made here as well. Not very high in workers for Clem, by the way, right? So his economy is not super great. He's basically on a 2-base economy right now. Dark going up to a 5th base. Clem is going to have to remain very cost efficient, which he should be able to do. You know, he does have that 3-3. He has +1 vehicle armor for his Widow Mines as well. Kind of interesting. A little drop on that 5th base. Attacking 2 locations at once. Some of the Banes will come up while he's microing elsewhere here, unfortunately for Clem. Man, really good parasitic bombs in there. Oh, tons of damage dealt. Flying right through that with his other medevacs. Brood Zergling is going to prove to be very annoying. Oh, God. It's the one Swarm Host dog whistle. There it is. Dark knows he's got this game. That's what they do. All right, Ling Bane rolling in, and GG. That was Tums. I had too much coffee. Okay, so someone asked, why does Dark always get 1 Swarm Host, or how does that happen? I have a theory. Now, this isn't crazy. I have a theory that this is a dog whistle. This is a silent thing that the Zerg players do. Because you'll see all sorts of top Zerg players occasionally just make 1 Swarm Host when they don't want it. And I've asked them before. I'm like, is this secret code? They're like, no, it's just a mistake. But everyone does it. Really? It's just a mistake? Just everyone in the world? All the top Zergs just sometimes make 1 Swarm Host when they're winning? That's weird. Yeah, it must just be a mistake. It's not secret code to each other. Fuck off. It's secret code. I've been saying this for years, and I've literally asked them to their faces in real life. And everyone denies it, which tells you it's fucking true. Here we go, game number 3. And we have Clem in the top right. Bottom left, we have Dark. Luckily, it's not Rod who set station. It's Alcyon. Alcyon. That sounds pretty good, Alcyon. All right. Been a good series so far. Been a very good series. Not sure what we're going to see from these guys. Is Clem going to open up once again with the 2-Rax Reaper? I just want to see him use Futures build. That's what I want to see. All right, starts 1 Rax. We'll see if he goes down for the second. Dark just expanding normally. I'm going to take this moment, guys, to tell you that there is a new YouTube channel. Use the command StarCraft 2 to get the link. Mapu's been running it, uploading the StarCraft 2 casts. This is a great place to catch up if you missed. Last week we had some great games. If you didn't get to see those, you can go and check them out there. They're already uploaded. So yeah, check it out. It's Artosis Cast 2 on YouTube. Always appreciate anyone who subscribes over there. And of course, since you're already here, hit that follow button on Twitch. I cast this every single week. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. We have a good time with it. I hate you guys. This is live. This is all live. I'm here with you right now at this very second. Right now, it is Sunday, October 22nd at 9 p.m. And yeah, so that proves it, basically. It's like holding up a newspaper. I mean, the 23rd at 11:41 p.m. Sorry. Monday. Sorry. Oh, wow. Reaper harass. All right. But more Reapers coming up. You know, this is the one time that Reaper harass actually matters, is when you actually have additional Reapers come to join you. So bouncing that queen off the creep, just making it really annoying for him. He'll back up, doesn't want to lose anything here. Third Reaper coming up to join. Has that factory coming up. I think we'll see a third command center start. Clem just using the same build over and over and over. There it is. Oh, 2 factory. Okay, so we have something very different here. This will probably end up being a mech build. I think he's trying to fake him out, right? So you use the same build twice in a row, and you make it look exactly the same the third time in a row. And it's something completely different. So we'll see if it's going to be Mass Cyclone, if it's just going to be a Battle Mech, which would be a combination of Hellion Cyclone. Excited about this. Mech, you know, Clem does occasionally go Mech in this matchup. And every time he does, it is a Battle Mech variant. He is definitely someone who likes to battle. Okay, so maybe just going for an upgrade there. And more Cyclones, that's my guess. Or maybe he just wants Blue Flame quickly. That actually could be it. That could definitely be it. All right, double Cyclone coming out. Lifts off that barracks that should be upgrading. So that might be a little bit of a tell. But maybe not. Maybe not. So a lot of Hellions being added in right now. 3 at a time. A little bit of poking and prodding here. A lot of Zerglings coming out. Let's see Clem's micro now. He definitely needs to make sure he doesn't lose all of this. Trying to whittle it all down. Oh, man. Well, actually, that Hellion behind the Cyclone is just brilliant. Don't forget, Cyclones are not as tanky as they were. If you're keeping in your mind the Cyclone we played with for years and years and years, this is a different Cyclone now. So it does not have as much health. It does not have that base armor. So those Lings actually can kill it very quickly. Be very careful with it in that regard. All right, now Clem moving forward. He actually is getting stim, so this isn't going to be mech. Instead, this is going to be heavy cyclone into bio. Haven't seen this build at all, so completely new build coming out of Clem here. Kind of a funny little back and forth right there, trying to get some good lock-ons. Ooh, doesn't quite get it. Doesn't quite get it. Hurricane thrusters. I didn't even know the name of that new upgrade. Oh, good surround right there. A lot of Lings coming in, and will kill off Clem's army. Now, did Clem do enough there to not feel terrible about losing that? He brings this back up right into some Stim Marines and Hellions. So now that Stim is done, okay, this is where it's getting kind of funny. By the way, double layer on the way. That's interesting. But now that he sees that Stim it's like, okay, so we're playing against Stim and Mass Cyclones. What's going on here exactly? What is this? Such a strange play here from Clem, but Dark getting in on top of these Marines. That is a lot of Lings that have already fallen here, isn't it? 94. Double eBay is a going, is a chugging along. What a funny looking game this is. Like, the unit composition that I'm looking at is just so different, right? So heavy Marines, and now instead of Cyclones, he's gone into Siege Tank Hellion. Which, of course, both those can be good support units. You know, Hellbats can be pretty reasonable. You know, Banelings can blow them up, but what can Banelings not blow up? Obviously, Siege Tanks are going to be helpful. But, of course, that's going to reduce the Marine count overall, right? You're putting a lot of minerals into some of these other production facilities. But, like, you don't need 2 factory Siege Tank here, not against Ling Bane. So probably Hellions are going to be better. Although I might want to go for Widow Mines over those realistically. Widow Mine Siege Tank can be like kind of a hard comp to control correctly. You know, Siege Tank, Widow Mines are much more like a forward unit, a more aggressive unit. Of course, they can be great defensively as well, but, you know, the Siege Tank is a more dedicated push. The Widow Mine's much more mobile. So sometimes it can be hard to use those together. I've seen a lot of Terrans attempt that in the past and have a hard time making it work as well as just one. I know that sounds weird because you're like, well, more splash damage the better, but it's hard to make the actual comp work together. I would say something like, yeah, it's like watching Protoss try to use Colossus and Disruptor and High Templar, but actually that's easy. We all know that. Now a little push up here from Clem. Really similar in those supplies right now. Forces left off very quickly. A lot of Hellions in there. If you're going to have this many Hellions, man, get that Blue Flame upgrade. Why not? Seriously. All right. All being morphed into Hellbats. Look at that. A lot of mines in there now, too. Quite a few racks being added on. This is such a funny looking composition. I feel like just massing Banelings works against this. In fact, you know what? Hydras should do all right against us as well. Hellbats do not like Hydras. All right, Ling's coming around. They're going to come in for a flank. Dude, Dark's going to win this, I think. I know that Clem is up in supply right now. No. If you bring this army to flank, if you flank the army that I see here, this Terran army, I think you smash it. Well, he's going for a counterattack. It doesn't feel like it's working that well. It gets like a tank. Gets a few SCVs. A lot of mines in here. Oh, boy. Oh, those are good mines. Oh! See, that's why I think you needed the flank of the Zerglings, is drag some mines into those Marines, make it so that they can't retreat so easily, and just smash that army. You may still be able to do that. Comes up with that flank once again and does force the lift off at least. Dark backing up. His economy reasonable here at 77 drones. He is only on 4 base, but getting the 5th now. Hive is on the way. Just going to give up this hatch. Doesn't even want to fight for it. Just going to take a new 4th elsewhere. That is a lot of damage output from those Marines right now. Well, that was not a very successful attack there from Dark. Just trying to zone everything back here with his very well-ranged Hydras. Almost has that +1 range. Yeah, these finally unburrow and try to get some harassment. Does anyone else wish that Banelings could be morphed underground? I mean, they can burrow underground, and the Zerglings can burrow underground. Why can't they burrow the hole just a little bit bigger and turn into Banelings while they're burrowed? Well-placed siege tank right there. A few mines coming up as well. He does have drilling claws. Really important. Good spread. He's spraying a lot straight forward here. Picks off a couple immediately. Good beginning of the engagement for Dark, but then does have to pull back. I think rightfully so. Very annoying Marauder up there at the front. Woo! Keep him alive! That Marauder's a hero right now. That Marauder's actually screwing up the math pretty hard. He wants to kill that thing so bad. Now there's another one. He's got his buddy up there too. Okay, finally does take those out. It's a tough one. Rolling back. He has a lot of mines in here. Mine's not doing as well as I thought they might there, honestly. You know, a lot of people don't really like mines against Lingbane Hydra. But Siege Tank's going to be fantastic. And look at that. Dark is going to be able to kill everything off. Push it all back as well. Still very even supplies. Very even economies. Which, when it's an even economy, that's generally winning for Terran. Damn. What a game these two are putting out here. So we're getting the Lurker Academy is what I want to call it. In the Lurker Academy, now going to teach those Hydras how to morph into Lurkers. Viper's coming out. Yeah, the mine drop's not working as well as I think he wanted there. Just kind of multitasking almost for the sake of multitasking at this point. That is a gigantic drop he has prepared. Ooh, Dark misses it there. I thought he might see it for a moment. No, if he goes right to the main, this could be deadly. Okay, that's exactly what he's going to do. Boosts into that main base immediately. One siege tank. Few mines in here. Oh, the Baneling's rolling in. Don't get the connection that they wanted. Oh, God, those parasitic bombs are so good. Oh, my God. Did anyone see that parasitic bomb jump up and down in the medevac that flew away at the top right of the screen? These 3D graphics are broken. Anyways, this army will get wiped out completely. You know, I think the parasitic bomb's a great touch there. I actually thought that that was going to do a lot better for Clem, and he certainly did as well, because that did not feel like that was impactful in a positive way for Clem. A few drones died. Okay. But I don't think that's what you were looking for a trade that had that many medevacs involved. Really an issue. Speaking of which, Mapu just showed us there's only one starport. There's 3 factories, but 1 starport. So if you just lost 6 medevacs or whatever that was, dude, that's going to take a while to refill. That's actually a bigger issue even than I thought it was. I just assumed he had 2 starports. Ten Lurkers morphing. Getting the Talons upgrade here. And well, that's going to be pretty fearsome to break through. Now, that being said, Clem does have 5 base. He's making a lot of command centers, right? So he's got that type of economy. where you can play these kind of long half map games. Notice he's adding a second armory. He's getting vehicle weapons. These are all really important things. Now, when you're getting into this area of Terran vs. Zerg, excuse me, something caught in my throat there. Okay, so excuse me there. When you get into this section of the late game, there's several different ways you can try to play it, okay? One thing I got to say, first off, Maru is the best at this stage of the game. A few things to note. You can still fly around a little bit with medevacs and harass, but in general, the pushing that he's been doing with the types of armies he's been pushing with no longer works at this point in the game. We're kind of getting into the I have infinity stuff area, right? Where it's like, okay, well, now we have lurkers and vipers in there and the well-upgraded Hydraling Bane. So you can't really push like you were pushing before. Now, I haven't seen Clem in this position as often as Maru. Obviously, he gets here because he is a great Terran player, especially in this matchup. I do wonder which composition he's going to go for. I love to see the double armory. In my opinion, like, I really like some of the stuff that Maru does with Thors later on in the game. Obviously, right this second wouldn't be the right time for Thor. Like, what you kind of can do, though, is force him into a situation where, you're going to end up seeing some Broodlords and whatnot, right? Like, if you start getting, like, this impenetrable force where there's a ton of siege tanks, you're sitting behind planetaries and stuff like that. Like, what breaks that? What breaks that? Well, at that point, a lot of times, well, you can try to do moves like this. You can try to be Armani and throw away 48 lurkers to kill a planetary. Maybe it'll work. Like, he kills a planetary there. Okay, I mean, he's doing a little bit with that one. But once you realize that this is the plan for Dark, you can start to counter it pretty hard. And at that point, I do think that you need to get a Greater Spire. Broodlord did have kind of a buff recently as far as movement goes, but like a little nerf to the Broodlings. So I haven't actually seen the new Broodlord in action, I don't think, in the last 4 weeks. I'm trying to think. I probably did once, but it's not coming to my brain right now. Definitely not in this matchup. Either way, he's continuing forward with those upgrades. A lot of ghosts being added in. As long as you have a good amount of tanks, a good amount of mines, a good amount of ghosts, you're going to be getting pretty damn cost efficient here against Dark. And so that's where Dark has to start being a little creative with the way that he wants to play this. So we'll see. I think we will see, the spires getting added in. He's going to need to get a couple of them for upgrades. Eventually, you're going to hit the moment where you realize, like, oh, we can't kill each other. So, while I say that, I, like, watch the production tab here for Dark, and he's just like, well, what about more Hydras and Lurkers? Well, I mean, I guess you can, Dark, but if he's sitting there with Liberator, Ghost, Siege Tank, Mine, buildings, turrets and stuff, it's like, well, I don't know. Are you going to be able to break in there? Dark is one of the best players in the world at this type of late game Zerg. I think he has more experience in it than Clem probably has experience against it, especially considering it's Dark, because Dark plays it a bit different than I think most Zergs play this portion of the game. All right, that is a lot of Banelings being made right now. Some Parasitic Bombs going out. Parasitic Bomb, the Viper in general, but Parasitic Bomb, I think, especially. One of the best grindy spells for late game. Parasitic Bomb is just like, as soon as you cast it, it's like, okay, that's going to deal a lot of damage, and it's really annoying to just continually bring back medevacs to repair and things like that. Even, you can throw it down Liberators as well. Clem ultra turtled right now. I love all the sensor towers he's putting down, by the way. Lots of little scuffles we're watching right now. None of these are hugely impactful. right? Like, I feel like at this point, well, there is still like tempo victories that could occur. Like, for instance, it's more likely for Dark to get a tempo victory. Let's say that he kills a base suddenly, one of the fringe bases, either one of the ones like the top left one from here, or maybe that bottom right one that he was just attacking. That could set him up, because he has more mining going than Clem. That could set him up for like a tempo-based victory where Clem has a hard time securing additional bases because of relentless attacks, right? So there is still some chance for Dark in that way. As far as Clem goes, that's not as likely, right? Like, Clem has to kind of do a slow crawl around the map. Push what you can, harass what you can, but probably more than anything, keep your bases up and running. You'll almost never have a higher bank than Zerg in a game like this. And if you do, it's right at the very, very end of the game. Like, the game is being decided at that moment. All right, Liberator range only now starting, actually. That's a little bit surprising. He got that fusion core a while ago. All right, coming in, that is a lot of lurkers in there. A lot of banelings rolling through here as well. Definitely heard some ghost deaths, but I think he has enough to be able to push us back reasonably well. Dark trying to break through some of these areas. Actually, that is the old natural base, in case you kind of lost track of where we're at on the map. We've been jumping all over the place. So kind of funny, killing a little bit of the infrastructure, right? Gets rid of a factory there. I don't think that that's that impactful right now. You know, because we haven't gone up to anything such as Broodlords, you don't really need, you know, a bunch of factories producing right now. I gotta say, one thing to mention about the way that this is being played, it's more Liberator heavy, more Ghost heavy. That's actually closer to the way that TY generally, historically, has liked to play these Supreme late game Terran vs. Zergs. You know, there was a point in time where no Terrans could really beat Zerg in this late game, and then TY kind of came up with Mass Missile Turret Liberator Ghost, and was able to take out Zergs with that, right? So I'm kind of feel like I'm seeing a little bit of that here from Clem. It's not exact, not exact. Obviously, that was many, many years ago that I'm talking about, and still something that TY is very good at. But not a comp that we see quite as often in this matchup. It almost looks like a more TVP comp rather than a TVZ comp in a way. Right now, the the new medevac upgrade coming, it like boosts the mana regeneration by like 100%, I believe, is exactly the technical term of it or whatever. Yeah, regeneration rate of medevac's 100%. There you go. Really a cool late game upgrade. Haven't seen it that much, but definitely it's a worthwhile upgrade for the late game. More and more lurkers being made here by Dark. Some excellent harassment there. Gold base being attacked. Now, Dark is flooding the natural again. He's looking to get on top of production, which is always a good way to try to take Terran out. Terran units, as they pop out of production, are absolutely wretched alone. Like, you really need to hit critical mass. So, like, these units popping out going to have a little bit of a hard time clearing this. The Ghost being cloaked is a nice little add. He's killing off a lot of those very important tech buildings right now. Dark really going for it. Clem on the warpath, though, with the counterattack. All right, Clem ends up saving most of his main base, but I believe he lost the fusion core. He lost an armory that was upgrading. I believe it was plus air attacks that it was upgrading. So, and definitely lost like a little bit of production facilities. So definitely there was some damage here. Drop some mules for repairs. Like to see it. Clem is a little bit disjointed right now. I'm really starting to feel this game for Dark. Still similar supplies on both sides. You know, like Clem is not dead right at this second, but Dark has punched a bunch of holes in Clem's defense. He doesn't have good zones to keep Dark back in. See, now he's attacking over here. Clem's army's at the right, so Dark is attacking the left. I think Dark has really expertly picked him apart. I was a little bit... maybe I was underestimating his usage of the Hydra Lurker Lingbane here. You know, I don't see generally a player of Clem's caliber, like, Not able to like cost efficiently hold that off, but it feels like, you know what, he reduced that siege tank count some. He did a great series of attacks. He gave up a couple bases, but attacked nicely and destroyed everything basically on the left side of the map. So Clem is only on the right side now. And you can see units lost. Like, Clem has been more cost efficient, but Dark is just, he's mining a lot. Now, that being said, he is getting a little bit low on that as well, right? Dark's bases are not looking so hot right now. Look at that. Very reduced mineral patches all over. Way out of gas all over the place. That is a rich geyser, the purple geyser. So that's a good one for him to be mining from. Yeah, it looks like Mapu finding some of the geysers that actually haven't been mined out. Oh, he decides to get a Spire at 26 minutes. Nice. All right, great surround here. Nice pick up there from Clem, saving what he can. Yeah, the 26-minute Spire. There you go. All right, this is a lot of Lings going up in that main base. Clem is maxed out right now, so he certainly can deal with, like, mass circling without any question, but look at the movement from Dark. This is such an excellent game from these two. A Cyclone. I don't know what he wants out of that Cyclone, actually. That is not a unit I would think about making right now, honestly. That's, huh. I'm very interested to see what he wants to do with it, and if he makes more than one. Yeah, parasitic bombs being utilized slowly but surely to knock out that Liberator. Lurker Harass being very, very annoying. Some Infestors joining in. Finally, Corruptors coming out. Now, the Corruptors are 0-0. So the Medivacs can almost beat them in a fight. Not quite, but almost. Ooh, great targeting there. Actually kills off that Infestor with the Liberator before it can cast any spells. Huge amount of Ling Bane coming forward. Good micro here from Clem, utilizing those Cloak Ghosts quite a bit. Marauders standing their ground, splitting off the Parasitic Bombed Medivacs. Oh my god, those Fungals absolutely insane. All over the Ghosts. Still, though, Clem able to hold on. Fantastic upgrades. He's got those Medivacs as well, doing a great job with their high energy, maintaining those heals. Don't forget, Fungal does do 5 less damage now than it was before, so it does make a difference as well. Now, what does Dark have mining? Is it just basically top left? This is almost empty anyways. Yeah, we got this base, which a Liberator is harassing. 36 kills! Was that the one with the parasitic bombs on it? Oh my god. 36 kills! You have to be kidding me. You have to be kidding me. This is an absolutely wild game. You know, I thought that when Dark peeled apart the left side of the map, I thought he was going to have it. But now Clem, he's kind of zoned everything out. Dark is having a terrible time with his economy. He's got some great spellcasters. He's good at this type of game as well. But it's hard to imagine him killing off Clem's entire army at this point. See just how bad his economy is truly looking at the moment. Dude, he just won't stop with this. Oh, yeah, actually, that doesn't touch any of the mineral patches. I could get a drone to die there, but you'd have to, like, right-click it on the right side of the mineral patch. Some Infestors laying traps. Ghost laying in wait, trying to get some kills on these corruptors rather. Yeah, disruptors. Imagine I give the Zerg disruptors too. That's actually a big portion of Dark's economy right now. All right, well, he gets the tank at least. Something. Huge Ling Bane. Yeah, see, this might be the real problem here. Clem actually has a bank, and like the army is heavily Ling Bane for Dark. So you have to replace it as soon as you fight. Even if he killed Clem's army, he couldn't replace, and Clem could. I think this game is over. Yeah, this is not looking super hot. So this is going to be probably the final engagement that we have. 2 nice unburrows into fungal growths going down, but he's going to need more than that. EMP goes down to make sure that no more fungals are going to hit him. Sets up a million liberators. I think Dark sees the writing on the wall. He's going to try to make something happen since he still has a lot of spellcasters in here as well. Easy snipes going down. And as Clem pushes towards this top left base, that is the last mining base here for Dark. Some good parasitic bombs going down. Again, none of this really should be enough. Look at that. 5 health. Damn. Kills for days. Dark is really trying to make something happen. Clem mining so much more at this point. Last few gold mineral patches going to be picked up. I'm not sure what that was, but... All right, here we go. This should be the last moments of this game. Yeah, GG. And Clem takes it 2-1, is going to go on to the finals.